I got this Mercury 150 here, and it's on this, what is this, a Stratos? Pretty decent looking hole, man. Somebody really destroyed the top. And I think he tried to sand it off. Looks like somebody clear coated over it. Anyway, what we got to do is figure out. He says it runs and it dries, but it's a loss of power. He wasn't sure about if he got the carburetor synced right. And we're just gonna do a whole check it out. When he brought it over, I could tell that there was this this here filter, and when I looked at the filter, it had a bunch of ethanol fuel in it, and it was separated enough that you could see it. So I think we'll throw my tank on there, but first I want to check spark, compression, and we're going to check his timing, look at the carbs, how he's got it linked and everything. Oh yeah, Boats by Earl Bits. See it right there. So yeah, this is a Stratos, right? Looks like the minimum capacity is 5 people, and see if I can read it. Motor gear, 200 horsepower motor. So you can put a 200 on this, so it's a little bit under power. That's the first thing that I noticed. And then just looking down it, we got a tag. It's like a couple years ago. I mean, the hull looks to be in good shape. I think this year probably we'll maybe have to look up our serial number. And oh, I'm sorry, this is a Triton. That's right. This is a Triton boat. I guess that's a Triton trailer. This might be a terrible video. I think it's a Stratos and it's a Triton. You're gonna have to look at. You know what I can do though? If you don't know, this is something you guys got. You can figure out. Yeah, so there's a sticker here, Triton Boats, and then there's our, our vehicle, our whole ID number. And we can go look that up, and it'll tell us what it'll tell us. And then he doesn't have a battery in it. I have to get in here and fish out the battery cables. This is a nice boat, guys. I think he's got to do something with the top. Man, if he could do something with this top, get that crap taken off of there. I don't know if you got to re-gel coat it or what. That's a question for somebody else, because I'm not a gel coat guy. So let me get the battery. I'm going to use my battery. And then he's got another. He's also, I think this is the one where we saw. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, this is the one where I think we saw that ethanol was floating around in there. It's hard to tell with the sunlight now, though. We'll pump some of it through and take a good look at it. See. You know, he's throw some Star Triton on there or something in the gas to see if it'll run on it. But anyway, got our work cut out, and so I guess I'll be back. All right, here we go. Okay, it's got good compression. I guess next, let's see if it's got fire. We'll leave the plugs out. Okay, so we only have spark on the number 3 and the number 4, which could be, I mean, it's probably either stator trigger. The age of this motor, you pretty much, it's all the electronics. Now we don't know that. I mean, we could look at coils, but when you see it only on, you know, because one power pack's on one side, one power pack's on the other side, but still you don't have like 1, and you don't have like 6 and 5. Like you don't have 1 and 2, you don't have 6 and 5. Then I'm thinking, you know, it's either power packs, it's either, you know, I could go do a bunch of tests, or I could just let him know what I think. Like, you're pretty much gonna need to replace all the electronics on there. It's got the wrong spark plug. Well, it's got all right spark plugs in it, but I replace them. They're NGK, BH, BU, HWs, and there's all right plugs, but they run better on Champions. And well, I don't know what else to say, man. I mean, it pretty much, like, all the electronics are really old looking on it. It's gonna need a new, probably new thermostats, and it's also gonna need a new rectifier, and that's a lot. It's a lot. It's expensive, you know. So do you just go get another motor? I don't know. I'm gonna let him decide, and we can go from there. Okay, so if you watched the last video, you saw we had loss of power on this little Triton, aluminum Triton boat. And so went back and rewatched the video, and you know, I was kind of like, oh, well, seems like there's, like, we're having a, like, one of the cylinders, we lost a cylinder. Something was really weird. So one of the things I thought I would do was test my coils. I went ahead and pulled them this morning just to take a look at them and figure it out. But you know, at one point it was like, well, wasn't getting any pee out the pee hole. So I went ahead and pulled that when I got back to the dock, and took the little end off of it, this little piece right here, and blew through it and started back up, and all of a sudden it started peeing again. I was really happy about that. But we also had, like, the key switch decided to you know, to lock on. So I'm replacing the key switch because I had to pull the battery cable because you know, it just kept running. So we've got all that going for us. But what I did was you know, got out my book, and this is what is this? It's like even says A27509, and it even has the part number, A27509. And these two tested just fine, but this one tested bad, so got out a little meter. And you know, if you're looking at the little chart, we got a 4-pin, and on the 4-pin it tells you, like, you take your meter and then you put your red lead on pin A. So this is, you know, and then I just stick my lead down in there, pin A, and then pin C, it tells you to go to pin C, put it on an ohm scale, and we should get something in the range of 1.2K. So 1.25 to 1.35K, right? So that's good. But then it says, let's take our red lead of our meter and we're going to go to pin D. And then we're going to go our black lead of our meter to pin C. These things are kind of hard to get in there. And then we're going to put this on a diode scale. And you can see we have nothing. I mean, so like, let me just take it off and do it with this lead, but we're supposed to have overload. And we have something. Just get it in here, so make sure I get this on here real good. Like I said, I've already done this a couple times, but well, it is saying overload. Now to make a liar out of me. But then it says to go pin A. And then it says to go over to pin D with our black lead. And saying 0.4 to 0.9. Well, okay, now all of a sudden this one's working. Did I read that wrong? Okay, so then we're gonna go pin D with a red lead over to pin B. I think this is where I ended up. Maybe. Pin D to pin B should be 0.04 to 0.9. This is where it's out of range. See, we're at 1 point something, so that's out of range. And then we're gonna go pin B with our red lead. And then we're gonna go to pin D. And it is supposed to say overload, that's right. And then it's saying that, so we got one of them that's basically, it's out of range. So the next is to go to the end of the spark plug terminal to pin A, and we should have between 0.9 and 1.1K. So 0.9 to 1.1K, which this is, so this is kind of working. But if we look at, like, again, so that D, so test lead red, test lead red on D. This is the one that's out of range, and it's barely out of range. And then we're gonna go to the D, to the B, I'm sorry. Going D to B, and we're gonna put it on diode, and we're at 1.016. And if we look in our chart, it says 0.400 to 0.900. So we are out of range here. It probably heats up, and when it heats up, it's dead. And just to show you, here's this one. Again, we're gonna go to D, and then we're gonna go to B, and you can see on this coil we're at 0.546, so we're well within range on this one. And number 3 is the same way, and that ended up being why it sounded like we were having a dropout. I think we got us a bad coil. I'm gonna get one of these ordered. I'm gonna put these 2 back on because they're good, and hopefully that will fix that. Meantime, I'm gonna get, this coil is already, like, I got it on already. I'm probably still gonna, like I said, I'm gonna replace it because it was one of my old ones. I don't want to give him an old switch. I'm gonna give him a new switch, so I got that coming. Anyway, thanks for watching.